Hi there, my name's Tracy. I am married to Brian and I have two grown-up sons. I've been a member of Southside since 2008. We moved here in 2008 from Coatbridge. We're a church family in Coatbridge, and we moved to Ayrshire. And our next door neighbours had invited us in to introduce themselves, and they invited us to Southside Church the following Sunday. So we've been with Southside ever since. My experience of lockdown has been quite busy. I work as in a family learning role for one of the councils, and I work with parents and children. I absolutely love my job. Love working with both adults and the children. It's been busy supporting the families throughout this time, both from a learning perspective and from an emotional support role as well. So it's been really busy. I have also been studying for a postgrad in teaching, so I've been kind of buried in studies and buried in work as well. So I haven't exactly been focusing on God the way I probably should have been. I've struggled at the beginning, certainly, of lockdown to focus my attention on God. So for me, it's been a kind of up and down period of time. But over the last couple of weeks, I have to say that things have changed. To kind of put it into context, I was on an online mental health training course through the work, and the facilitator was going through the slides, and she was showing us what the tools and tasks that we could do with individuals who were experiencing difficulties with their mental health. And one of the tasks was to talk to the individual about what things they could do which they previously enjoyed or they currently enjoy, and set themselves out a plan in terms of what they would like to do on a daily basis. Now this was called 5 daily tasks. I asked the facilitator at the time, highlighted that based on the people I work with, I think they would find it difficult to think about 5 daily tasks. And she agreed, and she says, but you know, even if they can think of one task, she says that would be great. She says, you know, it's just the small things. And that remark didn't actually, I just had written it down on my notes, and it didn't actually resonate with me until a couple of days later. And I was reading back through my notes again, and it just said, I'd written down, it's just, you know, it's just the small things. And it really stayed with me. It struck a chord with me that day, that night, and I decided to get the word out just to see in what way did God use the small things. And I was drawn to the boy who had the lunch of the 5 loaves and 2 fish, and how, you know, that was used to feed the 5,000. The widow who had the 2 small coins that she put in the offering. So I was drawn to these passages, and I got a kind of word as such, which said, the little things in life somehow are overlooked, but are hugely important to God. The little things in life are sometimes overlooked, but are hugely important to God. And I started to put that in context with my own job and my work, and because I work with some vulnerable families, they have been really grateful when they receive texts or WhatsApp messages or a phone call or a knock on the door from friends, from support workers, from any kind of person that's out there that would be able to help them, and they've been so grateful for that. And I started to think, you know, let's not underestimate the text. Let's not underestimate the phone call or the letter or card. And in my case, it was a card I had received from as well, from Zoe and Emily, which was a small reminder as well for me. But yeah, it's trying to think about the small things that make all the difference. And who knows, in regards to the young boy and the widow, I mean, who was to know the impact that would have? They certainly probably didn't know the impact they would have on many people, and the fact that we're still talking about that now is something else. So I want to encourage everybody to think about the small things in life, whether that's the text or the phone call or the card, and I suppose to understand and realise the difference that can make to someone's life. And certainly I've experienced over this lockdown, and as we come out, I think probably even more so as people's lives change even more, that we take into consideration, or the fact that all this thinking about people and encouraging them shouldn't stop. I believe that we should carry that on. So I would just encourage people to think about what small things they can do for others. And I know that people everyone's busy, and I understand that we're coming out of lockdown, but I think even more so now, as people's lives change so much, that people will need support in the changes, and that I suppose, you know, just to think about what we can do, both as a church and individually, for others, in terms of that small thing, that very, very small thing. Because at the end of the day, it's the smallest things that sometimes make the biggest difference. And certainly I've seen that over this time with the people I work with. So I'm just asking people to just encourage you. Think about, I suppose, from James, we look at the small rudder in the large ship, the horse's bit in the horse's bit in the horse's mouth that guides the horse, the rudder that guides steers the ship. And I suppose, who knows, you know, what impact those small things will have on others, and that would guide them throughout that day. That might turn someone's day. That small thing that you do might change that person's day from being really bad into a really reasonably good day. So I would just ask people to think about the small things, as I say, because they can sometimes make the biggest difference.